Hello, in this video we are going to see why we need to use Linq. To understand why we should use Linq, let's look at some example to understand more better. Now let's see in real-time example why we need to use Linq. Let's create a class with parameters student ID, name and age. Now let's create an array and pass value for all these parameters. So I created an array and I am passing values for ID, name and ages. So I am having few datas. So now we have a requirement to find list of teenagers from this student array. So for achieving this, either we can use for each loop or for loop. It is better to use for each loop instead of using for loop. Now let's use for each loop to find teenage from this list of student array. So this is my condition. If student dot age greater than 12 and student dot age less than 12, I want to filter all the student information. Now let's directly print the value by using which student is having age less than 20 greater than 12. So whichever having, that going to be printed actually. Now let's run and see what output we are getting. Yeah. So we are getting the output of the student name who is having age greater than 12 and less than 20. All those name is printed here. So we can able to achieve this by using for each loop. So what is the problem of using for each loop? The problem is if we are having more data here, it's going to check each. The problem of using for each loop is to find the data based on this condition, it's going to execute each and every line by line, which will take lot of time if you are having more data. So that's the reason C# introduced Linq. By using Linq, we can able to find or filter the data very easily and very quickly. Now let's see how we can filter the data by using Linq. Where teen students equal to student array dot where. Now let's pass our criteria here. Where age greater than 12 dot where age greater than 20 less than 20 dot to list. Using this single line of statement, we can able to filter all the records. So all the record will be stored inside this teen students. Now let's print this. Let's remove this if condition. Now let's run and see whether we are getting the same output. Yes, John, Chris, Rob. We are getting the same output. So now I'm using for each loop just to print the data. I'm not checking the condition inside the for each. No more going to take much time to filter the data. Now we can able to filter the data very easily and just using for each loop to print the data. So that's the reason C# introduced a Linq.